A few months ago, I watched a video about a woman describing how the mothership was surrounding Earth and sending her messages. She was dead serious. And I really think she believes that she was receiving messages from a UFO, aliens. I think aliens exist, but I'm not communicating with them. We haven't received any communication to my knowledge of them. This woman was a part of the spiritual community here on YouTube. And if you know anything about people who want to believe the opposite of what other people believe, then you know they are susceptible to believing things that can be very harmful, even without proof. So I have a couple of examples. I make the comparison between UFOs surrounding Earth and Earth is a sphere. Some people believe that Earth is flat. Earth is a sphere spinning on an axis in the middle of space. What is there any difference between the two? Because I think if you're watching this video and you're not a flat earther, then you can accept very easily that the Earth is round, it's spinning, it's tilted. That's why we have seasons. If you have any understanding of the world outside of the United States, because the United States is very US centric. When I watch movies that are made here in the US, it's always like the world is ending, but only in the US, which I think is really interesting and shapes the way we view the world. If you look at China right now, other areas of the world have their own conspiracy theories. It is a way for people to assuage their anxiety so that they can make sense of the world. I don't judge people who believe conspiracy theories. I think it's helpful to them. That's why they're doing it. I think though, when you get into the QAnon, anonymous people and how they are literally harming people with their beliefs, then it becomes really problematic. My next example is God. I believe in God. I believe in God. God is not really a thing to be believed in. It's a force that you either acknowledge or you don't. It'll work either way, but you either acknowledge it or you don't. Compare that to the conspiracies of QAnon. I think one of the problems with QAnon is that there are so many believable parts. If you don't stop to think, well, some of these things are true, or that there's truth in some of it, I think that's kind of harmful too. So one of the beliefs is that there are pedophiles who are trafficking children across the world. Well, there are pedophiles who are trafficking children around the world. If you think of Jeffrey Epstein, he owned an island right next to my island in the Virgin Islands, and he trafficked children from around the world. That was a real person who maybe died by suicide, maybe didn't, I don't know. But it's true that he had a collection of people, similar to R. Kelly. These people had a plethora of people around them who helped enable them to traffic children. They traffic children, and those are only the ones we know about. There are, I'm sure, lots of other people with millions of dollars who are trafficking children. Is it likely that Hillary Clinton is the one trafficking people? Probably not. Probably not. But she may know somebody who does. That may be true. I know there was this thing about a pizza place. I don't know what that was. But another part of the conspiracy theory is about Satanists. So if they're saying that QAnon is baseless, I think it would behoove them. I think it would behoove them to actually provide explanations to better debunk the things. And that is saying, you know what? You guys are hitting some things pretty accurately. But overall, as a whole, these are baseless. They don't really make sense. Everything doesn't add up. So you have a few pieces that connect, but overall, what you're saying is happening is not really happening. But anyway, Satanists. I follow a Satanist. That's another video for another day. I may or may not do. But she is one of the kindest people, that I follow on social media. That doesn't take away from the fact that she's a Satanist. And listen, they have their own rules. It's like a cult. And I don't think cult should really be a dirty word. It's an unorganized religious group. And she may not even identify as religious, but she has rituals and rules that she follows as being part of a Satanist. And she has her own moral compass about not hurting people. But she uses like witchery, witchcraft, which may conjure up interesting images in your mind. But I don't know of another word to use to describe what she does. The point is that Satanists are real people, real people who do real things. And the one that I follow, even though she has a moral compass, there are a bunch of others, I'm sure, who do not, right? And who do blood sacrifices and all this other stuff. Like, these people exist in real life. So saying that Satanists aren't real or that this is not part of the conspiracy is like one thing. But I think you really need to tease them apart so that people can come to their own understanding. A difficult part about spirituality, conspiracies, is because a lot of it cannot be proven anyway. Like the God example. Can you show me what God looks like? How do you know for sure? Give me the evidence, give me the proof. There's not really any proof, no physical proof. Like I think about children, babies being born. Babies being born is a miracle. The fact that sperm connects with an egg, right? And that process of implanting in the uterus, all of that stuff, it's like magic. I think a watermelon, you know how big watermelons get? A watermelon coming from a seed, I think is a miracle. And if you didn't see it for yourself, would you really believe that a watermelon came out of a seed? Would you, like, if you didn't see it for yourself, if having babies wasn't so normalized, would you really believe that a human being came outside of a woman? Would you believe that? My point is, a lot of the things that we think we understand, we don't really. And so I empathize. My father has delusions. I empathize with people who believe conspiracy theorists. I am not a conspiracy theorist, maybe because my father had delusions and I know what it's like to believe something so much to your detriment that I question everything. I question everything and I do my own research. And I never, very rarely, I'm 100% on God, but I very rarely ever 100% truly believe something. Because I need to be open that I'm wrong. There's a possibility I can be wrong. And conspiracy theorists will not entertain the possibility that they can be wrong. That is them being sheep. Now, most people are sheep. Most people are followers, but they generally don't follow something that's like super destructive, like this. A lot of people have been harmed because of these beliefs. And so one of the ways I think it's a really good idea to help separate the two, conspiracy, spirituality, what's real, what's not, is this something you should be believing in or not, is it motivated by love or by fear? And you may not be able to know from the start, is QAnon motivated by love or by fear? You may not know that when you first hear about it, but if you look at what they're doing, the behavior, the end result can give you an indication of if it's motivated by love or fear. Going into the people's capital to force them to give Donald Trump the presidency because you think the presidency was rigged doesn't seem like it's motivated by love to me. I think there are other ways to contest an election than by killing a police officer, than by harming and injuring your fellow people. That's motivated by fear. Harming other people, hurting other people, believing things to your own detriment. That's motivated by fear. So there's no way I could support QAnon the way it is. There's no way. It's not motivated by love. It's not kindness, helping, wanting the world to be better. It's not an evolution. You're not evolving progressively with a conspiracy theory like this. Really, it's regressive. But a part of the evolution of the whole world comes with these things. Every time we take steps forward, we also go steps backward. But more steps are being pushed forward than back. And this, to me, is an indication that we are on the right path, in that big things happened when Obama was in presidency. Big things as in more minorities banding together, more climate awareness, like big things. And a lot of what President Trump did was kind of reverse those things back. And, I'm low-key rooting for the Republican Party to get their act together because part of their approach to politics has led to QAnon becoming so, popular with their followers. If everything, they're saying is a conspiracy, if you're saying that the election was rigged and it's all a lie, I mean, what did you expect? What did you expect? So, I pray for people like this who believe things like this, because they are looking for meaning, looking for purpose, trying to figure out, thinking they're doing the right thing. And, maybe the arrest is the thing they needed to realize they're really not doing the right thing. But I am hoping that they get it together and choose kindness and love over, their beliefs that are harming other people. Let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe. And thank you for watching.